The Wise family, welcome to today's lesson. And if you've not subscribed, kindly do so, okay? So, have you ever noticed that when a man makes a personal choice, people say it's his life? But when a woman makes a personal life choice, suddenly everyone becomes a judge. Everyone becomes a critic, everyone becomes an advisor. Why is it that way? Today we are talking about the double standards women face when making personal life choices and why it is time we start questioning them. Women are constantly judged for decisions that should be entirely their own. If she gets married late, people will ask why she took long. If she marries early, people will say she rushed. If a woman decides to have children, people will say, oh, you know what, you're sacrificing your dreams. Again, if a woman decides not to have children, people start telling her, you know what, you will regret it. So, no matter what choice a woman makes, someone always seems to have an opinion. And now the question is, why are women expected to justify their choices more than men? So today we are going to talk about the double standards. And one double standard is the marriage choices. Okay? A man can say he's not ready and people will respect that decision. But when a woman say they are not ready to get married, suddenly people start worrying about her biological clock. Suddenly people start, telling her she will regret it. And yeah, everybody now starts having an opinion. When a man remains single, it is called independence. But when a woman decides to remain single, people assume something is wrong. The same choice receives complete different reactions depending on who makes it. Okay? The other double standards is the career choices. When a man prioritizes his career, he is called ambitious. But when a woman prioritize pursuing her goals and building her future, people start calling her independent, too independent, she's neglecting family. Yet both are simply pursuing and building their futures. Okay? The other double standard is the relationship standards. When a woman sets high standards, is oftenly labeled as picky, difficult, unrealistic. But when a man sets standard, people say he knows what he wants with his life. So why is self-respect, confidence in one person and arrogance in another? That's the question. If a man say, I want a woman who is curvy, I want a woman who is this and that, akona masomo kiasi hiki, people say, wow, that man knows what they want. But when a woman say, you know what, I want a tall, dark and handsome, I want a man with money, then all of a sudden she's picky, all of a sudden she's unrealistic, all of a sudden she's doing the wrong thing. It's a very, very dangerous double standard we face as women. The other one is choosing yourself. This is also another double standard we face as women. Sometimes a woman decides to leave a toxic relationship and walk away from unhealthy friendships or simply prioritize her peace. And instead of support, she may be discussed as selfish. She's a foolish woman, it's a woman's duty to build her home. And so when she chooses herself, all of a sudden now, she starts being accused of being selfish. So she should stay where she's being mistreated because she has no choice. Like for her, she's supposed to meet the standards of the community. But when a man chooses to leave a toxic marriage, then it's all of a sudden it's wisdom. That is wisdom. That man is very wise. He decided to choose himself, so he's very wise. But when a woman chooses herself, she's selfish. Now the bigger question is, the problem is not people having opinions. The problem is that women are often expected to live according to other people's expectations rather than their own convictions. Many women have spent years trying to please everyone, and in the process they lose themselves. And I want you to know that you cannot build yourself based on public approval, because public opinion changes every day. You see that marriage, you see that relationship, you decide to stay. It's a toxic one and you decide to stay. Today people will if you leave, people will say you are selfish. Again, when you stay, people will call you foolish. So people's opinion change with moods every time. Okay? So as a woman, it is very important to know that you cannot build your life based on public opinion or approval. And so what I want to say is, at the end of the day, every choice comes with consequences, and the person who made that choice is the one to live with the consequences, not the critic. If you decide to get children, it is you who will live with the consequences of getting children. If you decide not to get children, it is you to live with that consequence, not the critics. Okay? They are not the ones. So if you are convinced that, yes, for me, I want to get children, then go for it. If you're convinced, I don't want children, go for it. Because at the end of the day, you are the one to face the consequences. Another thing is that people will talk whether you succeed or fail. That is why it is very important not to build your life based on people's opinions or approval. Because at the end of the day, people will talk. When you succeed, they will talk. When you fail, they will talk. Another thing, people will judge whether you follow your heart or you follow their advice. They will judge you. Okay? Women, they will judge you. So, make decisions prayerfully, wisely, and confidently, because at the end of the day, people will judge you. You get rich without marriage, they will judge you for that. You are poor with children, they will judge you for that. So, make decisions with wisdom, pray, and also make them with confidence, okay? Do not let the fear of judgment force you to live a life you never wanted. Yes, don't. It's your life, the consequences, you are the one to face them alone. So don't live a life, don't force yourself into being in situations where you never wanted to be in, okay? Because no matter what you choose, someone will have an opinion. No matter what you choose, someone will have an opinion. And so the most important thing is that you can live with your decision and have peace about it. True peace comes from living in your decisions, living in that path, the one that path you chose. That's when true peace comes. Peace does not come from public opinion, public approvals. So yeah, if you've decided for now you're going to pursue your career, do so, because even if you don't, people will criticize you. If for now you've decided to choose yourself, do so, because even if you don't, people will judge you. So follow your heart with confidence, with wisdom. And hey, this is Truth the Wise YouTube channel. Kindly, if you've watched to the end, like, share, and comment. Till next time, toodles.